on, do a recap, trade recap of what the market has been looking like this past week. And also we want to do some trade breakdowns of trades that we took and just give you guys some updates on what's been happening in the markets, man. So let's go jump onto my share screen. Let's look at the S&P first. And right now, when did the Ukraine thing start happening, dude? Do you know?
Great question. Like the war.
A few days. I want to say, based on, if I'm gonna go on the chart,
Yeah, base
I'm
it
gonna
off the
go on,
charts. Let's take a guess. Yeah, there
I'm
you
just
go.
gonna go on the 24th, bro, or maybe
Okay,
the
24th. Let's find out.
23rd, 23rd,
When did
24th.
Russia invade Ukraine?
Let's go
24th.
see.
What? When did you say?
24.
Dude, exactly that day.
Oh,
Dude,
look at
oh,
that.
look at that.
The
That's so
market.
neat. That is so cool. Look at the market to know what's going on in the world, right? Something obviously happened. That
So let's
that's
look
just
at the S&P 500 right now. This is one of the main indices that represent the U.S. economy, the top 500 companies in the U.S. We peaked. It's not starting off in a good year, man. This year, 2022, on the 4th, we topped out at 4808. And from then, it's been a nice downtrend. All the way reached our lowest point at about 4100 points, so that's about a 700 point drop in the S&P 500. I mean, it's not like really significant, like big, but it's just not, it's not a happy start off for lots of investors, especially. So this is about a 13% drop so far. Um, and right now, last week, or on the 8th, we made a new low. So this is a daily chart. God bless you, bro.
excuse me, sorry.
Made a new low, and we had strong buyers on the 9th, but we failed to close any higher. We did peak up at one point, but the buyers weren't there. This is just recapping to this past week's action. So more so, it's been more choppy for me. I haven't been in any, like, I would throw in a very small trade to test waters, but ultimately it would knock me out because of just the overall choppiness. If I'm to zoom into just this week, right? Big range, if you were to just draw levels, so we would be trading between these two ranges here at 43.19 and 41.38, and it just moves. I mean, yes, if you're an intraday trader, you may be able to capture some stuff, but for me particularly, this isn't a market I'm willing to make good bets on and take a position, because it's clearly not showing any direction. It's tricky. They call it a whipsaw market. You can get whipped out of this, and you just gotta stand on the sidelines for now. For me in particular. So yeah, if you zoom into the 4 hour, it's a lot of wick. You see that? So it's in this range right now, and I want to see confirmation on either sides of my lines that I just drew for a breakout, and see where the market's going to go from there. Same with the Dow. We're going to go into here. Very similar price action. As you see, I drew a Fibonacci line retracement before over here.
Ooh, you're getting a little
Yeah,
experimental here.
yeah, playing around, bro. So there was this level at 33,950 that price was respecting as a resistance, and so to go short in a way. So high to low, we had a fib level at 33,950. Price touched it about 3 times and it dropped, and so it's touching back, But right now it's over. If I take away the drawing, it's still ranging in a way. It's a ranging market. So nothing crazy to go take any trades on. Let's look at the corn market or wheat. Wheat has been that market that's been jumping.
Wheat, gold,
Yeah.
commodity market. Yeah.
So wheat on the normal on a normal year, it'll range between here, right? 700 to 800, and there'll be some moves, right? And we scroll past, and then this trend develops back in at the end of February. This wheat trend develops. We got lots of buyers, but you can see the volume isn't really crazy in the beginning of it. But as the trend picks up, then the volume spikes. Right here. But trend followers, they'll get in when the trend starts, so they'll get in around here. And I wasn't following the market, so I totally missed out on this trade. But it's a wonderful trade, and look at this. So you see how there's these lines here, the white lines, or this starts with a green line. That means it's limit up.
Wow.
And that means on these trading days, the market reached this max position or limit on how much it can go up, and they have to freeze it. The market has to freeze it. So same here. So on Friday and Monday, it just limit up, and it's crazy. I'm like, that's awesome, dude. So all the
Yeah.
long guys got it. We're holding it. Peaked at 1363, and someone probably sold off a bunch of their positions, let the market recover, and then boom, this big one right here. And so, as you can see throughout these markets, when we have big moves like this, it's a daily chart. Pumps up. You'll see these big bars following these nice big run-ups, and a lot of it's just you can compare it to like science. What goes up must come down, right? But at the same time, when you have these big moves, expect big moves in the opposite direction. They call it volatility. So I don't know what the reason for these big bars. I'm just saying, I'm just assuming that these big for hedge funds or big people who had big positions were probably releasing their contracts and affecting the market here. It is not the most popular market, so therefore, if someone was holding 1,000 contracts or 500 contracts, and they just dumped it at these price points, it could strongly affect price at the time. So we hit 1363, and on the 10th, that's Thursday, we closed at 1080. Price tried to peak up a little bit. People think this is a pullback, but for me, I translate this as the trend is done. The long trend is done, because it's such a significant drop from 1363 to 1080. That's 300 points almost. And based on the average true range, it's 75 points. So we are well above the ATR, and that means for me, I would not get in this market and try to buy the dip, as social media would say, and I would just let this thing ride. Maybe I might get on the other end and go short. We'll see. But wheat, corn is kind of correlated to this market. You can see it's been on a nice uptrend as well, but it hit a peak, and it didn't have such a significant drop as wheat did. So this would be more considering like the trend isn't done yet on this pullback. So that's something. And then the other market that is related is soybean. Soybean is telling a different story. We got it's just making new highs. On Thursday, made new highs. Friday, we try to dip lower, but we end up closing, if not higher, making a higher low. And so that's something for people to keep track of, that these commodities are still trending. So let's see. Let's look at gas. Gas has been the topic for everybody, right? Let's go Brent
Oil.
crude, oil,
Let's see it.
Brent crude. So this is a futures market. Um, if you just zoom out, 2020 we had $16 a barrel. I think one chart we're showing negative dollars a barrel for the first time ever. I've never seen that. They're essentially giving oil away during COVID. It's crazy, huh? Like, and then
Wow.
now people are like scramming for cheap oil, gas prices. So look at this. We if we go off of this chart, low of $16, and it's just been an uptrend since. You know, yes, there are dips, these big drops that would have knocked a lot of people out, but overall, it's been crazy. And then it just and then so it wasn't really the war or whatever breaking out. It's just, look at this is the market structure, and overall, it's been going up, and the media hasn't talked about this.
How it's been going up,
It's
right?
been going up,
That's
right? But recently, we just had these bigger spikes since the 24th. Let's just go track the 24th. Okay, boom.
wow,
Nothing really.
that is really insane. Like they're using this war as the caveat of why oil is so high, but really, dude, it's not.
Yeah, look at the data, guys. Look at the data.
Wow.
24th is just another day in
It's
the
another
markets.
day.
And then, boom, someone's driving it up, right? Or some people, whatever. Peaked up at 137 a barrel. Nice drop. Whatever. Look at this big red candle. Took price back down. And um, we closed at 112. Um, and it's looking similar to the wheat market, you know? And so, as traders, right? The question is, how do you trade it? Like, you think we, like, what comes to mind for me sometimes would be like, oh, yeah, I missed the train to go long. Now it's my chance to get in. But when you look at it, I'm thinking, my logical me, the trend has probably ended. Let's wait. Let's wait for the
Yeah.
market to see, you know?
See what it wants to do,
See
right?
what it wants to do. Natural gas. Let's look at natural gas. It's looking like a different story. It hasn't been. Natural gas had its run early last year, and this is similar to what's been happening, and you get to see what happens actually after the peak. So we peaked at 6.4 on natural gas back in October 21, and then it's just big bars, big volatility. Price wanted to go higher, right? People would think, oh yeah, it's time to buy the dip, right? Buy the dip here, and then price just went sideways. It's like knocking people out, right? Big range too, from 6 to 4.8, and then price eventually exhausted and made its way back down. Went more sideways, tried to break out, made new highs, and right now the natural gas itself has just been a whipsaw market. No real trends developing. You got these peaks, looks like mountain ranges, right now. So that's a tricky one to trade. But yeah, let's go back to gold. Let me zoom out to a weekly. Let's start at the big view of this
Uh,
market. Yeah, back in the 79, we peaked her 80s. Peaked at 827 an ounce. And since then, the market hasn't really been doing anything throughout the 90s. You know, it's a slow moving, but if you look, 2003 was kind of a start of this big trend that's just been going on. And I think peaked up 2007, we hit $1,000 an ounce. 2008 came, the crash, but it was like a big V shape reversal. So market topped, pulled back, dropped. This is the final drop, and then boom, it just rebounded. Zoom out again. So we're here, and then the price just continued on, dude, all the way to 2012. I think there was that big show. What was that show? Gold Rush on Discovery. I used to watch that. Those guys used to go out in Alaska, sift for gold, man.
Yeah, still a thing in this day
It
and
is. It
age.
is, right? So that was, I think that was during this time when it peaked, and price couldn't sustain. Dropped back down to 1,000 an ounce back in 2016, and it's been sideways this whole period. Right here, nothing really going on. And then you got all these people, like Robert Kiyosaki and some other big investors are like, they're fully bullish on gold, and they're throwing
And
out,
always been, right?
yeah, they're throwing out projections. They're like, oh yeah, it's gonna be 10 grand an ounce, bruh, 10 grand. I'm like, all right, guys, but then we take
Wow.
it to recent times. Boom, we hit 2,000 an ounce in 2020, dude. Wow. Yeah. No one was really talking about this, Ren.
Yeah, no one talked about gold in 2020.
Come on.
But it makes sense when world catastrophes and things happen across the world, money flows back into gold because it's always that reserve. I feel like it's always going to be valuable to humans.
Follow the money. So after it peaked, sideways action for a good portion of 2021, nothing really happening, and then it started again. So um, this recent trend in gold for me, if I've been really on it and watching it and entered, I would have entered at 1848 back in February, beginning of February. It's the most recent trend, and then because we were ranging out of this range here from 1849 to a low of 17, so about 100 points, and that's a lot because each point represents 10 ticks, so that would have been 1,000 ticks of space, of ranging space, if you were to try to trade. Let me just put a level here. And so this is like a bigger range, and I would just have to wait for the confirmation, wait for the breakout, wait for the momentum to start. And let me go pull up where I got long. Let me see, a few seconds. Yeah, so I got long late. I got long at 2,000, bruh. Let me see. 2005.
Oh, nice. That's an entry
Not the
I'm looking at right
prettiest.
now.
It wasn't the prettiest. If I zoom in,
Which date? The 7th?
um, 8th.
8th. Oh, yeah. 8th was still there. That
Yeah,
opportunity was still there.
yeah. I caught the later end. So I think what I saw right here, if we just break it down. Oh wait. It's a 4-hour chart. So price popped, and then there's this level of resistance here at 2002, 2003. So 1, 2, 3, and then we dropped for a little bit. Then on the breakout, I got in, and then price pumped up, pulled back, added some positions, and I think my first position, I exited on this bullish bar here. This is a 2-hour. I exited on the bullish bar. I saw higher volatility. I got out, closed my first position over here to lock in the profits, which is about a 50 point or 500 tick close right here. Then my second, third positions, I moved up the stops, so it's a little above break even, just to ride out the rest of the trend. Eventually got taken out. Let me see. I think I had a stop at about 20. I gave a lot of room, so 2015 I probably had some stops, but first position was a good move. Lock in the profits, let the other two run, but yeah, eventually I got taken out for those. So they netted in a little about a break even point, and then that first one was the one that I was able to take in some profits. So yeah, I just moved with the market. It wasn't the pretty. I mean, it's not ideal, but you know, it was presented, and I was able to take advantage. And now, right now, with gold, I'm on standby because you know it peaked, and it has this characteristic about a lot of these different markets. I've never, I don't know. I don't want to predict, but after like it peaked at a new high, it'll either drop immediately and then range and then maybe continue to drop back to, they call it the median, right?
Ah.
Yeah. So, because kind of like this, it peaked, drop, range, but in this case, it was just a gradual move up. I mean, you have several red bars here, but then we stopped at this low and continued up. So,
So should I buy my gold chain now or later?
bruh, I would wait, bruh. Get them on discount,
Wait
bruh.
for it. Wait for it.
Or you can get the
I've
gold chain. This just might turn green later, yeah.
yeah, yeah. I always believe though, like I think we've talked about this, but this is mainly for the viewers, is if you're traveling and you're in a pinch and let's say everything got stolen, but you have a gold watch or you have a gold, any type of jewelry, 90% of countries will help you buy, like, as far as like help you get to a place you need to go. Like, oh, I need a bad taxi drive or a real quick taxi drive or an airplane ticket. So an actual guy I knew at in like Mexico or somewhere, he needed an airplane ticket. His stuff got stolen. Had a Rolex watch. Gave the Rolex watch to like the person booking the flights and everything. Was able to get back to America to his family. And he's like, that's the importance of having like something valuable on you at all times. But it's also, you know, it just be smart about it. But anyway, I like that story, and eventually I think that's what I would do, is carry a little piece of gold with me everywhere I travel.
It's like your little piece of insurance, huh?
Yeah, insurance, there you go.
That's a good
Perfect.
way to look at it, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, don't be flaunting it, but then also I like this one too. Is like, if you're gonna have gold, you want to have you want it to be beautiful or something like that, so nicely intricate design or something. They're like, just carry out gold block.
Oh, oh you mean they won't take my bracelet that says Kuipo on top?
Yeah, shoot. That's the one right there.
Oh, man. You in any trades?
I'm not in any trades, but man, I really like that gold uh position that you just shared. Yeah, I would have done the
That's,
same. I'll pull up my screen here. Would have done the same thing. This is the hour. I like it. Like how it was looking, but I don't trade futures, so I can't really get into gold.
yeah.
So it's something I should look into, huh? But not that. So I wanted to just kind of share Euro odd. This has been a favorite of mine. Kind of broke it down earlier last night. This was my first trade. Took a nice 2.58 percent profit. Targeted the 200 EMA.
Boom.
I missed the following opportunity as price continued higher and higher. This was gonna be either a break even though, or a small loss if I adjusted my stop loss. I did place an entry order here because if price just continued to break out of this massive descending channel or this descending trend, I would have taken the ride up, but I didn't get triggered in. It was an entry order. And then now we're just kind of stuck in this range. It's creating lower lows, high tests, not breaking through any EMAs below both my EMAs. And now it's just creating this descending pattern. So I'm going to see what happens. It could either go down, break down all the way through. These two orders I placed last week didn't go through. And it's low volume, so I'm just going to sit this one out. But Euro odd's been nice. It was on our watch list last week. This one, so it didn't really provide it any opportunities other than just after March 7th. So right at the beginning of the week. This was my main trade. And then I think Kiwi Yen. I was looking at Kiwi Yen. I placed an order here, didn't get triggered in for a short, just a reversal. But overall, trend is bullish. So I don't think I got into this one. I have to double check my accounts, but anyway, this was a good one. A higher high, EMA. I mean, stop loss at my the EMA and structure, followed by a nice breakout. But other than that, nothing too major. I know we put these on watch, the pound dollar and pound odd. Maybe it was a continuation play. I think these were yours, Glenn, that you sent me that you were watching, pound USD. And
Yeah.
I like it. I think it was a short. This is the beginning of the week here. It was a continuation short with the trend. Personally didn't get triggered in, so I didn't get to ride that one. And pound on. I don't think this is it. This was a long time ago. So March 7th was here. Were you looking for buy opportunities on pound odd or shorting opportunities? Thinking short, huh?
Pound odd. Oh, it was I got taken out on that one for oh no wait, it was almost I closed for a very small profit. I tried to go swing long.
Long, yeah. I think I took a similar trade. Yeah,
Yeah,
right
because
here.
you took
Actually,
Euro odd, right?
I took. Oh yeah, so I was watching pound odd and euro odd,
Yeah,
but euro odd to me was the more favorable one for me.
yeah,
I mean, very same and similar setup, bullish momentum. We have broken above EMAs, broken out of a descending channel here. I liked it. It was nice, but the reason why I didn't get in right here is because EMAs was in the way and overall bear trend. So why would I jump in counter trend when it's very strong trend too? But other than that, it's just
yeah,
ranging right now. Not
yeah,
creating any lower lows, kind of in this little box here.
yeah. I was protective on that position of pound odd because I knew I
Yeah,
was like, oh, I was in a downtrend, and then there was a small chance that it could just reverse, but yeah, it ended up uh, just almost pretty much almost break even. It didn't lose.
that's good.
But
I mean, a break even or a small win is
yeah,
and small loss is always better than a full loss. I did want to come back to this one. This was a reversal play. I recognize that this was a bear trend. Any bull or reversals might be exhausted really fast. So I specifically targeted the 200 EMA just below it after it broke through. I like that because I'm like, okay, maybe it could continue. After this double top, it didn't create a higher high. It kind of like took me out of going long anymore. So I actually placed this one here, and then I just sat it out until I saw this bearish engulfing candle on the 9th, and then I'm like, okay, I don't have a long bias anymore. I'm just gonna wait it out, see what happens. And then I like this one, but I'm like, okay, this has to break above here. Then only then will I consider it to go long. Uh, didn't work out, so it is what it is. And like, it's awesome because this just saved capital, you know, instead of being like, oh, I don't want to miss a trade, no FOMO. You know, it's just sticking to the plan when it's in markets like this. You know, trending markets will be more for market orders. Markets like this where it's trending is going to be entry orders for myself.
Right there, like that's the maturity in the trader right there. That's what that
Taking a
looks.
while. It's taking a while,
That's what
man.
that looks like. Let's jump back to Kiwi Yen because I'm
Yeah,
currently in this trade.
nice.
Um, so I got in. When did I get in? On the 8th. Okay. So this is what. So I knew this market was training, but we had this big dump. Um, the past few days or the beginning of March, and went sideways for a little bit. I like to see this because if I zoom in,
I'll be back real quick.
yeah, I like to see this because this is a nice setup. So price peaked here, made a new high, and then tried to peak again, but it wasn't strong enough, so we end up just going range bound and went sideways for a little bit. And then I saw price break up at 79, at 79. So boom, I got in, locked in a position. I got my first entry here. Price started to continue higher. Let's see this. Price started to continue higher, and then we're just going along. Added second position. Price returned pretty much to the entry. And so you'll see this a lot in trending markets. Price will break out, try to make its way, briefly touch back your entry. So that'd be also a prime position. But I already had two positions in here. And so price continued back up. Then I added a third position on this Kiwi Yen market up here of the new highs. Then I got a fourth position, price pulled back, and we are continuing on. So we hit a new high. If I zoom out, at this point I'm just moving my trailing stop up and just letting the market roll. And so we got to pull back here. Who knows, we might touch back this points at the 79.4 level because this is previous high, so it might treat it as a support. But overall, I'm anticipating this market to continue on its longer move, because if you zoom out to the daily, we broke past our previous high of 79, and so on this bigger time frame, you might be going, it's like a free range right here, you know. So we'll see how that goes. I like this trade. Like I said, I do want to always keep my risk in check, not be overexposed, over leveraged. So as price may continue on, I'll probably peel off a position to lock in some profits and then let the other ones roll. And I like this too, the we're just closing higher lows, higher highs, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So I mean, the way you can, I know Reed likes to draw trend lines. I'm not a channel line person, but you can see that it's just going up there. I don't know, but we'll see. Price might pull back and then continue on. We'll see, but I got my positions in, got my stop loss there, and let the trade roll. The other one I was looking at, yeah. So pound odd, I got out for a small win on this one bar right here because it was just a strong bar, but I knew I was in a downtrend, so I quickly exited. Euro USD, I am in short on this sucker. Let me zoom in.
I'm looking at this one at this coming week, man. I like it.
Yeah, man. So I got short. Where's that? 0.104. Yeah, so here. So we hit this low and we had a strong pullback. But I saw this. Oh wait, let me zoom out to the 4-hour.
Nice moves.
I saw this close. I was like, oh yeah, right? And then pulled back, and then it tried to peak a little bit higher. Then I was like, yeah, it closed lower. So I entered 0.104. Price can't pulled went down, pulled up, and then we just dropped. So it's sitting in nice profit right now. Still holding it. I'm anticipating. Hoping. Well, we'll see. The market's gonna tell. But if we bust through this previous low, that will give me more confirmation on the direction of the market, and continue to probably add positions on this market right here. But yeah, I mean, as far as the forex market, that's where we're at. It's been nice, a lot of nice moves, man. A lot of nice moves.
I just wanted to point out on that euro dollar trade, if we're what's in the news right now, it's all about the war. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up my share screen real quick. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So back in like August, I think this is like more of a confirmation of when maybe we could say September even, when the first bear signs started to come into Euro USD. We're seeing this kind of bull trend, but then it started correcting. This is the daily. And then we got to around this area is when we started showing some bearish signs. It's not creating a higher high here. It's a high test reversal, more high test reversals, confusion in the markets, what's going to happen. And then we got, shorts here, and then it broke below this most recent one. And so what I'm trying to say is, like, back in September, we started entering this bear trend. And then what the news happened, 24th, right? January, or was it February? February?
We in which news?
The war. It was February,
Oh,
yeah.
no, February. Yeah, yeah.
There's
Look at
this
that.
right here. So around here, right? So I'm gonna actually remove
Zoom in.
that. Zoom in. February 24th, 25th. So I know that the news, even I was like paying attention to it too. Until you got to look back, look at the charts, see, okay, is the news actually driving this bearish market? The answer is no, clearly. It's one single day for the continuation play. And so it's kind of like, okay, you're lining up with fundamentals. This is a war. Okay, how's it going to affect Europe? Obviously, it's not good for Europe. We're going to be like, okay, oh, it's been in a bear trend. It kind of confirms the bias that it's not looking good. So this is kind of where, like, if you know what's going on with the world, you don't need to be a successful trader. But if you know what's going on, you've seen this short, it's good time to capitalize on world events, just to see what markets are moving. So I just thought it's kind of cool how price action
Oops.
displayed, like, okay, there's multiple entries that you could get in here, and then this little tiny guy right here where this line is 24, that's considered when the war started. Just fascinating. And now we're still continuing that bear trend, but you're going to hear this part. This is the part that's going to be in the the news. Like we're in a bad bear market. Like, bro, we've been in a bear market since almost August, September. That's really when the bear market really confirmed itself. But
Loved
I
it.
just, yeah, that's just fascinating. Volume is coming in though, higher than what it has been, and that could be definitely fear money right there, I would say.
I love it.
Anyway,
No, that's
but
facts, bro.
that's
That's
yeah,
facts. Using the information of the world, being informed, not to fully make your trading decision, but use it as an aid, right? Because from a technical standpoint, like you said, euro has just been dropping.
yeah. I think like technically, if there's something there and you're like, or you hear maybe a fundamental news announcement for something, you're like, oh, the technicals, I would short it, and you're like, oh, I think it's gonna be bearish news. Like I place entries off of that, and I've made decent profit going off of fundamentals, but basing it off of price action. That makes
Boom,
sense.
boom.
Never
More on
basing
that.
it off of fundamentals. Yeah,
But
that
yeah, I
type of
mean, it all goes back to your personality and how you are as a trader,
yeah, true.
and
Yes.
because some people love fundamentals, they die by it.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And it's successful. I'm not knocking it down at all. It's just not the way that we trade or
Yeah,
I trade, but it's
that's a
always good
good
to
point.
be informed as well, I believe.
That's a solid good point. But I think that kind of wraps up our weekly recap for the trades and what has been happening in the market, guys. Lots of stuff. Stay with us, be informed. If you haven't joined our channel yet, subscribe on our YouTube. If you want to get into our private community, hit us a DM. We'll see you guys around. Thanks for watching.